Walter, first things first, deeply apologize for how long it has taken me to get to the post office to get this wonderful package. I do remember you messaging me and saying that you would be sending some plates along, so let's make sure that we're not going to cut anything here. See what we got. Of course, we're using the Benchmade bug out. I called it a mini griptillion the last time. Got some Indiana plates, I see. Oh, here we go. More stuff to cut. I appreciate you, Walter. I've been paying for that P.O. box to the tune of about $300 a year, and I'm a little leery about canceling it because it's on so many of my videos in the description. But next to nothing. You're the first to send anything in a long time. A long time. A lot of Indiana plates. Looks like we are all Indiana plates. And I think I remember you saying that as well. Fighting the tape. Very well packaged. Thank you. Okay, let's see what we got. We have our current In God We Trust. We have our old one with the covered bridge. We have another current. We have another covered bridge, which I guess is semi-current with the year 20 on it. Got a standard truck plate. The bicentennials. This is 2016 plate. I like that. That's neat. I don't even know if I've got one of those. Another In God We Trust. Another In God We Trust have been around for a long time. So, and we've got another covered bridge 796V. That's an odd number there. And another In God We Trust. So Walter, thank you. I will definitely find a place for these up on the wall. I've got a couple of others that have decided that they didn't like where they were at, that came down on their own, that I need to get situated. And when I get those situated, I'll put these up. So I appreciate you. Thanks again. And if anybody wants to send something, my address, even if it's just a note, the address is down in the description. If you can't find the description of the video, go to a computer and you'll be able to find it there. A lot of people watch on TV, a lot of people watch on their cell phones. You can pull the descriptions up on the cell phones, but I don't think you can pull it up on the TV. But at any rate, thank you very, very much, Walter. We'll get these hung up. Later. Hey gang, happy Sunday. Of course, you won't be seeing this on Sunday, but I had a call from my neighbor Dave for a scrap cleanup / pick yesterday, and it actually yielded some pretty cool stuff, and I wanted to share it with you. And it was all free except for 2 items. I'll tell you what 2 they were, but let's start off with the biggest free item. A vintage Delta table saw, table saw, drill press, and it does work. I was gutsy and I plugged it in, but I'll be replacing the cord. Let me grab the extension cord here and I will show you. Just the outer insulation that's bad. The inner wires are just fine. So let's get her plugged in. Plugged in. And it's got this neat little on and off switch. Box is back here, goes through this rod, and you just simply push it in, turn it on, pull it out to shut it off. It's all there, even the check key on a chain right there. And to my surprise, even with the age of this thing, the bed has not been hammered to death with drills. So, and I love old stuff, so I'll take that for free all day long. What am I going to do with it? I don't know yet. It's not as capable as the one that I already have, but I'm going to go through it, clean it up a little bit. Let's see what I got back here for a motor. That Delta motor we have for horsepower. I'm looking. Where's the horsepower? 1 horsepower, I think. I know you guys are looking at it sideways. I think it's half. I think it's a 1 horsepower. Oh, 1/3 horsepower. It's up here. 1/3 horsepower. But yeah, works just fine. Put a new cord on it. It may just go out to the garage. There's a lot of times when I need to do stuff out in the garage. So that's item number 1. And we'll come over here to this table, which has got a lot of what was already tossed into the dumpster. I paid for this porcelain lamp. It matches the one that's on my smokehouse. And I paid for this simplex clock. It wasn't as clean as it is now because I took it in the house and did some work on the synchron motor. It's got a bad bearing, or bushing rather, in the synchron motor. But let me clamp you here for just a second so I can grab the extension cord again. All right, bring it over here so you guys can see that it is indeed running. But I went ahead and ordered the new synchron motor, this motor here, and if you look in here you can see the flashing. That's the rotor. It's a brushless. That's the rotor spinning around, making all the clockworks work. It was tricky to get it going, and you can hear that rotor hitting the electromagnets. So that's why I went ahead and just ordered a new synchron motor, was so that this thing can last another 54 years, because it is a 1967 model and it's the small 10-inch. I have 2 of the 13 plus inch. This is the first small one that I found, so I paid for this and that. 50 bucks, so 25 a piece. Well worth it to me. And that was it. That was all money was laid out for. Of course, I showed you guys this in the back of Ruby in the toolbox. This I picked up at a pawn shop for 50 bucks, and it's brand spanking new. I just thought I'd throw that on there because it'd been sitting in the truck and I needed to get it out of there. Now let's look at the rest. We have a Porter cable, and when it was tossed into the dumpster, the handle just came unsnapped. So I'll pop these screws out and then we'll give this one a test run. So that'll be in this video too, just to make sure it works. But this is a Porter cable biscuit joiner or plate joiner. It's used in woodworking, and I don't know how many of you guys know, but I'm also an accomplished woodworker. So we've got a biscuit joiner now, and we've got a row standard, leather wrapped in red, 50-foot tape measure, and the tape is actually really nice on it, to my surprise. Usually these, even though they're coated, they get all rusty. So then found this big Night Eyes S-Biner, and I'm a big fan of them. I use them all the time and with various things, not limited to my pop holder. So that's just a little version of that. This one is plastic, and it's good for cable management, hanging cables and stuff like that. So you just don't throw away something that's good, right? So it takes care of that, takes care of the tape measure. You see here we've got a weird looking little hammer. Well, it's actually not. It's a mini croquet hammer from a mini croquet set. I just thought it was really neat because it's got this piece of wood in there that's been put in between the two halves, and the handle's got some nice turning to it, and it's linen wrapped, and so it's got some age on it, and I'm a sucker for old, right? And then I found this big guy right here, and this one's actually going to get converted into just a wooden mallet. It's not going to be as long as it is. I'm going to shorten it a bit and then reprofile the ends, but again, it has that nice inlay right there. So we got that. Then we got a wood clamp vise for woodworking with wood screws. This screw over here has a crack, but I'll get it glued together. It operates, it goes all the way through, all the threads forward to back. Then we have this hammer, has a dead blow on one side and a heavy hitter on the other. Tell me what this is. I think that this is for mounting tires. I think. I'm not 100%. But I think this is like a big semi-tire mounter and bead type breaker and stuff like that. But you guys can let me know down in the comments what it is. And the owner took and drilled meticulously, I might add, which pleases me because I'm OCD, meticulously on both sides. Grips, and actually grips pretty good, and we had to use this too. So we'll get that out of the way, and we'll get the big clamp out of the way. You see here a 7-Up bottle, souvenir bottle from 1978. It's a May 28, 1978 Indianapolis 500. It's a pretty cool find. And we've got all these air actuators that were used. He was an accomplished woodworker, and all of these were used in conjunction with fastening and mounting of various, I'm assuming, production run items. This one right here just goes out and clamps against something. Where's the other one? This one with the bolts through it right here with this long air cylinder has a clamp on the end of it for coming down and clamping work with air pressure. This is kind of an ingenious little concoction here. It's just a regular blowgun nozzle that comes out, comes down, and it shoots air. What exactly it was for, I don't know, but I do have all of these actuators, and somewhere in this mess, yes, right here is the actual control valve, which was the main reason I went ahead and grabbed it all. It's silly stuff to have. Don't know what I'm going to use it for, if anything, but you have in and out on this. It's just a control valve. It just reverses these two, the airflow between these two. So I just thought that was just kind of neat. These are two handles off of a pair of fireplace log tongs, and I just like, they're newer-ish, but I just like the way they were cut and designed, and I will find a use for them. I can even use them as shift rods on one of the tractors. And behind it we have a brace and bit, a long brace and bit, plus a brace and bit extension. These things are great to have. I do have a brace and bit that hangs right there, that has the right size bit in it to clean out the hole for my gate for the rod that goes down into the ground, goes into a piece of pipe. Have we come to the end? Yep, I believe we've come to the end. So like I said, I paid $50 in total for the lamp and the clock combined, but everything else was free. Just thought that that was uber cool, and I wanted to share it with you guys, along with the gracious plates that Walter sent me, which will be going up on the walls. And you can see right here, I've got a nice empty spot. Looks like a perfect place for them. Now I guess we can come over here to the smithy just real quick. We'll touch on it. I need to change the battery in the camera already. The smithy is in its home. I was able to get both cabinets, this cabinet and that cabinet that the old lathe was sitting on, in a place where I can store tools for the smithy, tools for the mill, and I even started working on a little bit of something that I'll get finished up. And usually the first thing I do make is either a scribe or a punch, and I usually do them with either brass or aluminum handles. Because we've got, let me get a couple of them out here. We've got this one that was made with an aluminum handle, and then this one, which was made with a brass handle. And I've got a couple more. This is actually an Allen wrench, but it makes me happy, so that's what I do. I trued everything in with the exception of the cross slide. The cross slide still needs a little bit of the lash taken out of it, but this one I wanted to make out of stainless, and this is high-speed tool steel, and this is just stainless. It was actually just a grab handle for a drawer. I'll be able to strike the end of it. This will be the striking end right here, but you can see the finish that that smithy put on. Just it did a gorgeous job. Everything is centered real good. I'm within half a thousandths of play on everything, with the exception of, like I said, the cross slide. I went through and sprayed it all down with mineral spirits and got all the crud cleaned off of it. And then after I got done doing that, I sprayed the whole thing down with my Bow Shield T9, which is hiding back here, right there. That stuff's expensive in a can, but it is absolutely worth it. I can't get Mick's clock that he made me to behave and find a happy spot. There, that's not too bad. This knob was in with the tooling that I got, so I figured, well, why not use it for the headstock lock handle, because it didn't have the handle on it. And I think the next project I'm going to do with the smithy is, there's supposed to be a crank handle back here so that I can crank the lead screw by hand. So instead of ordering one, I've got the means to make it. I'm just going to make it. I did change the handle out here. It had just a bolt on there, so I changed that out. This is actually a hydrostat slash variable speed transmission handle on the earlier foot dragger tractors. But yeah, I like the machine. It's a good machine. So now we're going to cut it out. I'm going to get stuff picked up, cleaned up a little bit, and then get this Porter cable right here put back together and see if it works. So hang on. Now this should be quick and easy. Famous last words, right? Let's see what we can do here. Just loosen these up so we can split the handle apart. looks like all the wires are still attached. And like I say, my guess was that this damage to the handle happened when it was tossed into the dumpster. Got one tab here that's just a little bit screwed up. I'll try to straighten it up as best I can. Check the other side. Yeah, the other side's a little bit bent. Check, straighten it a little bit if we can. Oop, lost a screw. That's more than just a loose screw, isn't it? Would you like the top of my head? Okay, here we got it. Spread it apart. Might need to take that all the way out, huh? There we go. And just clamshell it back together. Well, there's nothing screwy at the back end of this. Why is it being screwed? There it goes. Okay. Well, the switch moved a little bit on me. I guess we're going to have to half this clamshell so we can get the switch in its proper pocket. Stay. Sit, Ubu. Just stay right there. Stay. There we go. We'll start these by hand. Just move them backwards till you feel them drop in the slot. There it goes. Use the nut driver handle. Yeah, with plastic you really don't want to use the power tool to take it back apart. Putting it together, sure. I mean, put it back together. I said that all backwards, didn't I? Let me try it again. You don't want to use the powered impact to put them back together, especially going in plastic. And I've said it before, to get everything to line up right with the original threads, just run it backwards till you feel it drop. Just dropped. Then you're tightening right back into the same threads, because these are self-tapping. Alright. Well, we got the handle back together, and it looks just fine. Huh? Let's do the plug-in and test thing. What do you say? Getting the cord. Power cord, check. Alright. Let's see if this is a good pick or not. We ready? Remember, that was a freebie. A freebie. The way these works pretty simple. You have a blade right down in here, and you set your depth and your angle. Set your depth over here. Whoops. Set your depth over here for how deep you want the biscuit to cut. And here's your stop. So you can set your stop so that when the carriage comes back just like that, it exposes the blade so you can put your biscuit in there. So we now have a free working Porter cable plate joiner, model 557. So you guys can look those up, see what they sell for new used. No worries, I take that every day. And guess what, guys? I promise I will see you when I see you.